officer. And like people are next to him on the dock, and he's just like waving them away, and they're looking at him weird because it looks like they absolutely hate having to be near him, and he's just like laughing so hard he's taking up the whole like dock lane, and everyone has to walk around him.
We could attack it now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back for that one, y'all.
So I should mention one final thing that you actually would have known, because Adam completely blew out of the water with Bottle's local check. Psyduck Goldtooth is also the administrator for the free captains testing.
Ooh.
Yep, sounds about right.
So, unless anyone has anything they'd like to do to him before he gets outside of your range, what would you like to do? Oh no!
So, aces.
Uh-oh, we lost Dominic.
Did we? Yep, that's what happened.
Right, well, putting
We have him back.
aside the question...
Would it
Oh,
be too much to ask to just quickly paste a note that says "kick me" on the back of his head? On the back of him?
You could make a CMB check to try.
I was thinking more sleight of hand.
Okay, I'll allow for it.
Oh, this just can't be good.
What language are you putting "kick me" in? This could be
Minkayan.
Okay. So he might not be able to read it immediately.
Boom!
Okay. Let's see, I think I have his stats here.
We'll be sure to take your advice into account. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
So you're like running up to him and posting this on his back?
And we're like, thanks for the advice. Really, it means a lot.
Okay. There we go. I had to figure out which book he was in. Alright. So he actually does not, since you're doing that, when you touch him, he immediately pulls out both of his pistols, wheels around, and puts them both in your face. And he goes, "Alright, mate, listen up. Unless you want to be like my salads, peppered, you better take a step back."
I do just that.
Okay, and he goes walking down the street with a "kick me" sign on his back.
I think we should leave soon, because he's gonna know where that came from.
Good times.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Good job. I like that.
Did he do it?
I
Yep.
did it.
The hype is real.
The hype is real.
So, Mr. I Bloody Vince, what do we need to do?
What would you guys like to do? Oh, you know what? Let's drop this as long as we're here. In Port Peril, here is today's Daily Bard. I'm going to toss that in the chat and to the players.
Let's read the Daily Bard.
It will be in the description on the YouTube video, and for everybody else, here it is on the test screen. There's your link. Uh-oh. I don't know which part you guys are laughing about, but they're all so good.
Quidditch.
Oh, yes, of course, the Quidditch.
Horse thievery.
Ooh, for stuff my shielding.
Grey Gardener execution?
Yeah, you know who the Grey Gardeners are?
No.
Okay, so in Galt, they have like the French Revolution constantly going on, and the Grey Gardeners are like super powerful guardians of magically enchanted guillotines. So when you're killed by the guillotine, your soul is stored inside of it. It basically soul binds you to the guillotine, and the Grey Gardeners are like the guys who escort these around, and they're kind of like Inquisitors. They accuse people and throw them into the the guillotines and then chop their heads off and trap their souls. They're legit as
Nice.
shit.
Wow.
No. No. Has been found to be what?
I like how that cut off right there, right? So good.
Has been found to be what?
I'm amazing at writing things. For those of you who watch the show a lot, you will of course recognize the reference to Ket, who's also in the chat. This is an event that actually happened in Ket's campaign.
Yeah, Dad, thanks for the whole transmutating me.
I want to point out that from the reporter's point of view, you were a horse, and that from their point of view, you were transformed into a horse because he kept saying you were his daughter. Not that you were a horse transformed into a human.
Yeah.
From the world's point of view, you were a human transformed into a horse, transformed back into a human.
Well, I didn't transform back until during the wedding night, was my understanding. So, would they know that I got transformed back?
Yeah, because they would have, talked to you the next day. It would have been a big thing,
And since he slipped a roofie into my drink, do any of us know that he's the one who did it, or are we just kind of assuming?
James Jives has sources. That's all I'll say.
Because, I mean, we all know that Equitas will never believe anything bad about her father, Ket,
The wizard.
despite
Ket the
all
wizard.
evidence to the contrary.
He's a
I
monster.
like the Scourge watch. That's pretty good.
The Scourge
Well, yeah,
watch.
because, Scourge has been around for about 200 years, right? So every time a new
Yeah.
Scourge pops up, everybody's like, who's that Scourge? Shaft. Of course, the Karzak thing, if you'd like to know more, you could always check out the Rise of the Rune Lords campaign. The big reveal on what Karzak army is doing is going to be tomorrow. Maybe. Assuming they don't all kill themselves by falling off a cliff. Which you think you wouldn't be able to do at 16th level, but yet they're going to do it. Alright, players, when you are ready to move ahead, just let me know. With an X in the chat. And yes, Piranha Ranchulas are now canon. They're like owlbears, except 1,000 times more vicious.
Oh yeah, the candy I brought in.
You want to try selling off some of this spare loot, like the other two onyx, 120 gold in material, platinum necklace, masterwork chain shirt?
I would, while we were here, as for my personal actions, I would like to try to trade this +1 Morning Star up for a +1 Dwarven Axe.
You're probably not going to get a direct trade on that.
No. I have money to add to the
Okay.
trade. Yeah.
So does anyone have any objections to me selling the 120 gold in material, the 2 remaining onyx?
So
And
you should know that for gems you'll get full price, but for anything else you're going to get half.
okay. So the onyx, that'll work out to 250. What about just the random material? Half?
Half.
Unless you want to keep it stormy bottles. Might come in handy.
I'm sorry, what was that last part that you were going to sell that I might use?
The 120 gold in random materials that we found in Master Destiny Forces home.
It's for blood magic rituals.
I mean, would I use them in my components for spellcasting at all?
Sure.
Okay. Sure, I'd like to keep that then.
All right.
Sentimental.
And all
Anything
that's
else?
left is the Masterwork chain shirt, which would sell for 125.
I thought Commodore Ferris was wearing that.
Oh no, did I lose everybody?
I
No,
think she's
I have
Pyrosing.
my ice armor. I don't wear armor.
Yeah, she's
That's
Pyrosing.
right. Okay.
It's where you walk around with no armor all day long. Because you can summon an armor made out of bones.
Oh, sorry.
Nice.
I lost the last half minute. What happened?
Yeah, I was sell the masterwork armor.
All right. So, and the silver greatsword. Does anybody want that?
I think we should hang on to it just in case. It is our only silver weapon.
All right. So, total.
If
that's...
you want to have enough money over, I'll buy it out of the store. But I just think we should hang on to it just in case we have need of silver weaponry.
All right. So just selling those two things, that'll be $375. Divide that 5 ways. Even split, 75 gold for each of us. I'll go ahead and take these two things off the... Or... No, my mistake. It's not 250 for the gems. It's 500 for the gems. Silly me. So, 625.
So while this is going on, I don't want to cut you off, Dan, but you're doing some numbers stuff. While you guys are wandering around looking for a place to sell this, you're approached in the street by a man. He's got like a dozen pistols on him, hanging off of him, and he's got like a red, white, and blue bandana around his head, and he's carrying like a super long rifle. And he's just calling out, he's like, Alkenstar Gunworks, we're coming into this area. Yes, yes, indeed. Over the next year, you're going to see a lot of these beauties coming into the Shackles. Why, you, sir, he says, like, pointing at Sifrid. Are you feeling down? Having trouble with the ladies? I think you could use one of these. He like, hands you this 4-foot-long rifle. And he's just like, oh, yes, the ladies will love you once you're firing one of these. You should check it out. It's the AG 4713 LR special. We call it the Big Bang. Can I put you down for an order? How many do you want? 5, 10?
Sifrid will tell him to make a pretty poor improvised weapon. He holds it by the barrel.
He's like, no, good sir. Have you never seen a firearm been fired before? Let me show you.
Shoves it back at him and shoos the guy away.
So while you're doing that, he like walks up to Aces. He's like, you, sir, perhaps you'd like one of these fine pistols. Just like opens his trench coat. There's pistols hanging all off of him.
Sir, I don't think I can afford that.
He's like, oh, these aren't for sale right now. I can put you down for an order over the next year when they come in. How many barrels of gunpowder would you like with your order?
Gunpowder? Is that kind of question mark? I don't know what he's talking about.
He's just looking at the rest of you. It seems like he's kind of losing steam here.
You know, sir, I know a bored young noble who might be very interested in those items.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Tell me more.
Indeed. He's son of one of the free captains and looking to make a name for himself. And what better way for young men to distinguish themselves than with big explosions?
Is this going to be your character for Plunder and Peril?
I haven't decided, but I feel like yanking your chain.
You're going to be a wear-shirt gunslinger.
Do it.
Okay. Alright, so he takes down the information for the son of Soranash, who, again, despite having been in your crew for like 3 weeks, no one actually figured out what his name is.
His name is Chumley.
Yeah, sure. That's his pirate name. It's not his real name.
What other name would I give to a vendor?
So this guy's like, very kind, thank you. And then he just keeps walking down the street trying to entice people to, like pre-order guns. He's like an alpha vendor. Okay.
Pre-order guns.
So if you guys would like to spend a D4 of hours, you can make a diplomacy check to see if you can find a good vendor to sell places. Or a knowledge local would let you find a place immediately.
I'll give knowledge local a shot.
Curious, do I get any bonuses for being in here this
I'll
town?
give you a +2. It's your home
Okay,
town.
cool. Any human vendors?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Shackles.
Okay.
Does that help for finding someone who will take the necklace?
23.
Yes. Are you looking specifically to get rid of the necklace?
I mean, along with all the other stuff.
Alright, so do you have it out in the open while you're walking down the street?
The necklace? Certainly not.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay, Maelstrom, you and Genji, I'm sorry, Kamakiri, together you easily identify a shop that's quite near Rodimus Rhododendron's office where you could offload for a good price. You know, it's clean, it's middle class, it's run by a small family, and you know, it's your mom and pop shop. You know, they got your everything hanging on the walls: hammers, nails, war hammers, war nails, iron shirts, mithril. They're right next to a blacksmithery run by one of their cousins. They got the stuff that you need, and they'll pay the regular price.
Nice.
Okay.
Nothing
Everybody-
nothing very special happens while you're there.
Everybody gets the 150 gold. Yeah.
To be noted, the shop is located right here, the little white house, and it's called Figgies. It's called Figgies. It's owned by the
Okay.
Fig family.
Curious, any church to Callistria here?
Oh yes, actually, there's a very famous Church of Callistria. It's run by a half-drow. It used to be a temple of Shaolin, and now it is a temple of Callistria, so it's kind of like a half parody.
I think to myself, how much would my tithes be to pay over 15 years worth of tithes?
Well, a year's tithe wouldn't be that much, you know, like maybe 10 gold pieces.
Okay. I asked the captain, can we go by there if I could pay my tithes? Because it's been a while. Chillaxian jail.
You know how it is when you're in Chillaxian jail. They're keeping your religion down.
You're not shit. My mission.
So it is called the Siren's Lash, and it is located right here. It is the kind of circular building with three little things coming off of it.
Okay, we'll head that way, I guess, after we get done the business here.
Okay. So anything you guys are looking for, anything scroll-wise, you can easily find it at Figgy's. It sounded like somebody wanted to buy scrolls. You could easily get the low-level scrolls you're looking for there. I don't know if anyone else is looking to purchase anything, but if you are, let me know, and I'll let you know if Figgy's has it. So what is your plan here? Are you going to the Siren's Lash, the Temple of Callistria, or what's happening?
You need to find a place to offload the necklace first, then we can go, and if there's, like, he can do his thing, and while he's doing that, I can see if we have enough time to maybe make an infamy check.
So, are you trying to sell the necklace at Figgy's?
Wait a minute, is the necklace magic? I detect magic on the necklace.
The necklace is not magical.
Okay.
Who was it that had the platinum, the deep platinum starting item? I think it was Sifrid, right?
I actually
Had the
think
what?
it was Kid Tomes.
Was it Kid
No,
Tom's?
No, I had the pearl.
Yeah, I think it was Kid Tomes.
Okay, well then it doesn't react to any of you then. It just seems like a normal platinum necklace, just made out of like poisonous gases, or have sunk into it and like blackened the platinum. It doesn't lower the value of it, of course. The Figgy family won't touch it. They tell you that there's a couple dealers, and all the dealers they tell you are in like the dirty part of town over in Crescent Harbor. Like no respectable merchant will touch anything that involves aboleth magic.
I thank them, and we can go over to the Siren's Lash. And I guess I could go to whatever tavern's closest to that and make the infamy
Oh well,
check.
I mean the Siren's Lash is a sacred prostitute house, so it certainly could double as a tavern for your infamy check if you wanted to
Good.
spend the rest of the day there.
But first, where would I go to find the guy that knows the information about the mask?
You're already right next to Rodimus Rhododendron's office if you wanted to head there.
Yeah, might as well do that. I asked Captain Ferris, please lead the way as my appointed lawyer.
I like how when he needs something, he remembers your name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Rodimus Rhododendron Esquire the Fourth,
The fourth.
the Fourth's office, and you see like a chellish man. He's got like a widow's peak, slick back, very greasy hair, and like perfect teeth, big pale skin, huge smile, and he's just like, "Ah, new clients I see. I am Mr. Rodimus Rhododendron the Fourth. Pleased to meet you. What can I do for y'all?"
Yeah, so before we entered, I would have asked him to recap why we're here for those of us who don't remember.
Okay.
Okay. When I was a young lad, my village was attacked by Chilean merchants looking for certain artifacts to add to certain museums of the Rose family. But unfortunately, my father died in the skirmish, which caused us to move to Port Peril. And I'm looking for my father's mask, because it's the last thing I can remember of him. So it's symptomatic reasons, I guess.
Who is the guy we're going to see and why does it matter? What am I trying to get out of him?
I need information where the mask is located, and he's the gentleman that knows this information. Fortunately, I don't have a shining personality like yours, so that's why I asked you to be my lawyer.
So what's happening?
Sorry, still outside. So, why do I have to be your lawyer just to get information out of someone?
Well, have you seen me actually get information out of people?
Yeah,
Just
I'm not entirely sure why you think you need a lawyer for me to bamboozle information out of people.
Use these fancy words and these charismatic tone. I don't have that swag with people like you do.
So, basically, you want me to politely ask him a question.
Yes.
Okay, because the approach I would take if we were going to be playing lawyer is very different from my approach I did for getting men to tell me things.
Okay.
Alright.
See, this is why I hired you, because I can't explain things very well.
Let's see.
7 charisma.
If you need anyone strong-armed.
That's what I have the ninja for.
Intimidated Chilaxian lawyer. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So, tell me what happens when you come into this office. And who's coming with you? He asked with a smile. Not that it's important.
I'll come with. The family sympathies touched my heart, so I will accompany him.
Oh, for the love of...
Wait, what?
Unless you need something broken, I'll just stay out here.
I very much want you to stand and look threatening at things.
We all sat in a tent smoking naked together.
This is how I set up my
This
hair.
is supposed to make me more willing to do this?
Question for the GM.
Yep.
I kind of lick my hair and just start slicking back my hair to look nice. Try to pick out the kind of gunk out of my teeth.
You do not know this man.
I don't know.
Okay, so what can you
I'll come with.
knowledge? What can you guys knowledge local about this guy? What kind of practice does he have?
Is he an
What
ambulance
button I
chaser?
push?
Wow. So, I mean, this is... You guys have no practical knowledge of this guy's operations. You know that his law firm operates internationally, and he's based primarily out of Ustalav.
Is he a litigator? Is he a solicitor?
You have no idea. And outside, it just says barrister.
Oh, he's a barrister.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't you... All right, because that actually tells me useful information.
Just remember, the only law profession in Galarian is barrister.
They're kind of a jack of all lawyers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll come with. I feel
There's
like
only 2 law professions. Profession judge and profession barrister. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I now
Paladin's
know that he
judge.
does import-export work, presumably, if he's operating internationally.
Indeed.
And
That would not be unreasonable.
some buddy someone.
Okay. So everyone's going in but Scourge, correct? All right. I don't hear any objections. So you enter, and he gives you the spiel that I gave earlier, and he's asking you, like, what are you doing here?
He's at the desk himself. He doesn't have any secretaries or assistants or whatnot.
He does not. And the inside of the building actually is smaller than the outside. You don't really know how that is, although you can make a perception check or a knowledge arcana. Maelstrom, you don't just note that the walls are far thicker than they should be, and you can see that the walls are actually movable. Like you could, like a cubicle, you could like pick it up and move it someplace else. But you also notice that there's a portrait of Captain Ferris on the wall that's listed Necromancer, wanted dead or alive. There's also a picture of Kamakiri on the wall that's listed as Genji, wanted alive, 20,000 gold pieces. Wanted in Agorian, which is a city in Cheliax. Kamakiri, you also notice this. And Adam, Bottles notices that there's some magical effects inside the room. There's some sort of conjuration magic. It's very faint, but it's in the corners of the room. In all the corners.
Sense motive.
On who?
Has he pegged me yet?
He has not. So the read you get off of him, he doesn't have any idea who you guys are. He's just like all smiles, a new customer coming in, all the, let's say, like bonds people, like bounties are all on one wall, and it looks like he's like a loan officer as well for people getting out of jail and stuff like that.
Bail bondsman?
Yeah. You want to take your poster out the wall. Okay, make a sleight of hand check. You're like backing up against the wall, picking it up, crumpling it, moving sideways, hoping he doesn't notice that there's a giant hole where your poster used to be.
I mean, I assume there'd just be wall.
Okay,
Could you at least wait until I start talking to him before you do things to make yourself obvious?
So, obviously he
And
doesn't
then
notice you now, but he will eventually notice that the poster's missing.
Hmm.
But you've got it now. You didn't hear you doing anything to it. It's gone.
Do I
Well,
notice
I'll
him
just-
doing this?
You can make a perception check.
I'm just gonna stand at that point in the wall.
Ferris, you have no
I
idea.
see nothing.
I'm just gonna stand right there.
Maelstrom, you actually notice it.
I just kind of look at him and nod,
Okay.
and just keep back to what I'm saying.
Rodimus Rhododendron's just like, excuse me, can I help you? Can I help any of you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you the Rodimus Rhododendron?
He says, why, of course I am. Perhaps you knew my father, or my grandfather, or my great-grandfather. Rodimus Rhododendron Esquire.
Well, I certainly see the family resemblance. Now, I was told that you're a gentleman that could handle certain...
So when you say that, he turns sideways. He says, oh, so I do look half tiefling. Well, that's very kind of you to say.
Hey, when you're working with Chilaxians, that's not a bad impression to give.
You know that tieflings are second-class citizens in Cheliax, right? They're
No,
little
I
more
didn't
than
know.
slaves.
Strange.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been running that entire... anyway. Okay, well, then I don't say that.
Okay. Because that
Alright,
would be
like-
really insulting.
Wait, isn't there a quote in Blood of Fiends where somebody, I forget who, was saying, like, yes, I slept with tieflings and they're amazing in bed. What of it?
Okay. Alright. So you're speaking with Rodimus Rhododendron.
Now, a little bird told me that you're the kind of gentleman who can handle matters involving discretion.
He says, why, of course I am.
Indeed. How fortunate. I step forward, kind of attempting to draw his eye away from the lurking loon squad. Who insist on following me.
Okay.
Happy to note, I am outside.
Yeah, you were the one I wanted to come in. You're good at lurking benevolently.
Benevolent lurking. It's first half of that. He's like a land shark.
It is Scrooge training
No, he lurks threateningly, but he's not getting in the way when he's not supposed to be threatening. You know?
Okay.
He's
Hey,
very
you have-
unobtrusive until I need to make a point.
You have no idea what I'm up to.
Yeah.
So you step forward.
So
Rodimus
anyway.
Rhododendron hands you a business card when you step forward.
I take the business card in one hand. I look it over. I look back at him. I nod slightly, and I pull out my business card case to put it in.
Okay. He's like, a business card case. I haven't seen any of those since I was back in Civilization. I can tell you're one classy lady.
Oh, it's a wonderful little marvel I picked up from a friend from Tianzi. I mean, you wouldn't want such important contact information getting damaged during the trials and tribulations of traveling on the seas.
So when you say that, someone walks into the... you know what? Let's start from the outside. Scourge. Someone comes walking up to the office. It's a half-orc wearing the Harbor Patrol uniform. He's carrying a wanted poster. It's like a really shitty drawing of Genji. Kamakiri. They just made it. It's like the ink is still running on it, and he's wanted for public nuisance, 100 gold pieces, wanted alive at the Lucre Hold.
Wow, that was quick. All right. Does he look like he's going into the store, or is he just walking by?
Yeah, he's definitely going in there to put it.
He's heading to the shop. I'll duck into the shop before he gets there
Okay.
and say something. No, I'll just say incoming.
So
I
on
thought
the
I
other
had more
hand,
time.
you can try to make a bluff check to pass a message secretly, and your allies can make a bluff check to see if they understand it. Or if you just want to say incoming, that's fine too.
Nah, no. There's
so
no way in the world.
Rhododendron, he's already standing up. He puts both his hands down on his desk. He's like, incoming? What's incoming? What do you mean incoming?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. You guys can say whatever you want to him. Trouble?
I think we got Dan back.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Can we start
I mean,
camera
I can
real quick?
Oh,
And
yeah.
did you catch the part where they're coming in with a poster of you?
I dropped out at the part where you suggested to Siegfried to make a bluff check.
Okay.
Out of character, I'm like nodding my head. I'll be able to pick that up.
Yeah, no.
All right. So what do you
I
guys
mean,
do?
I can certainly make the roll if you guys have any, but I don't think there's any chance in heck. Ah,
All right, so
Not
you're
terrible.
just like, the rooster is squatting in the hen's doghouse, and everyone's like, "What the fuck does that
what
mean?"
the heck?
And Rodimus Rhododendron the Fourth Esquire is like, does your friend need professional services? I know of this great place in Ustalov and Carrion Hill. They'll take care of him real good.
While he's doing that, I'll be putting my shield on my arm.
Okay. He's like, whoa, Whoa, are you trying to rob me? Is that what this is? He's like looking at each of you. Like,
No.
you're gonna want to put the weapons down, son.
No weapons. No weapons. Just a shield.
I deeply apologize, sir. Clearly my crew member is having a bit of an incident. Could you give me just a moment to see to this, and then we can resume our most profitable discussion?
He says, of course. And as he does, the door is like slammed open by the half-orc harbor patrolman who is carrying this still ink-bleeding picture of Kamakiri. And boom! It's time for our 2-hour break here. We're going to take... we'll come back at 20 after, so it'll be like 7.5, 8 minutes because we were going a little long here. We'll be back in 8 minutes, guys. So, yeah. While the party is doing stuff, I'm just going to make a plug for myself real quick. You can catch us Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday here at 8 p.m. EST. The schedule is down on the Twitch page. You can also catch up on all the old episodes on YouTube at WV Polar Bear. And follow us on Twitch at APGamingREAL. If you have an idea for a side quest that you would like to put these guys through, let me know. And I will make it my duty to destroy their lives with whatever you come up with. And as I said, we will be back in just a few minutes.